Conan, the quintessential barbarian, bare-chested, bare-furred with muscles on his muscles. Created by fantasy author Robert E. Howard back in 1932, just so 50 years later Arnold Schwarzenegger would have something to do. Conan is a fantasy icon. The world of Conan is Hyboria, set after the fall of Atlantis but before the rise of any competing great civilizations. It's a perfect playground for a video game. So we've had Hall of Volta in 1984, Conan the Cimarron in 1991, and then in 2004 we got Conan, a single-player third-person hack-and-slash action-adventure game for the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Not to be confused with the 2007 game Conan, which is a single-player third-person hack-and-slash action-adventure game for the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Totally different games. Then in 2008 we got the MMORPG Age of Conan Hyborian Adventures, a subscription-based MMORPG which in 2011 rebranded as Age of Conan Unchained, which dropped the subscription model in favour of a more pushed cash shop. Now it's important to note, the YouTuber MitchManix has already covered this game about 6 months ago, and he made a lot of the jokes I was going to make, so if this video isn't very funny, it's his fault. Just be careful to not confuse Age of Conan with Conan Exiles, which is a full-price multiplayer online survival game, not an MMO. So, hang on, what the hell is that video? Worst survival game ever. Conan Exiles. Someone's doing my review style, but for survival... No, this isn't on. I'm not having this. This video was made by Dumb Ways to Kai. Yeah, what a smart name. This video is derivative, it's insulting, and I will not stand for this. So I reached out to have a word with Mr. Dumb and explain that this is not on.
Hello?
Hello, is that Mr. Dumbways to Kai?
Oh, hey Josh, what's up?
Don't oh hey Josh, what's up me? Do you know who I think I am?
Of course I know who you are, we've been friends for years.
Well then would you please explain what the hell this worst survival game ever series is?
Oh, well that's just a series where I play every survival game I can find in a journey to find the worst one.
Kai, that is a blatant rip-off of my series' worst MMO ever. Who said you could make this? Who gave you permission?
You did. I said I wanted to make a YouTube series and you told me to do what you do but with survival games.
Don't lie to me, Kai. Why would I say that you should do what I do but with another genre?
Yeah, actually, I've got the message here. You said, "That's a great idea, Kai. Please cover survival games because I'm a little baby bitch boy who's scared of PvP and survival mechanics make me nervous." You then went on a 20-minute rant about fonts in some random Flash game, and then you asked me if I wanted to see your Alchemy Story waifu body pillow.
And did you want to see it?
I didn't then, and I still don't now.
Having put Kai firmly in his place, I downloaded Age of Conan and flopped into the world of Hyboria with all the grace of an Austrian bodybuilder fighting a special effects ghost. So welcome, I'm Josh Drive Hayes and this is Worst MMO Ever, a series where I play every MMO I can find in a journey to find the worst. Drop a like on the vid or sub to the channel for more MMO stuff, ring the bell for all the future notifications, and as always a massive thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep the channel alive. More information on how you can support at the end. For now, let's begin. Just be aware, Age of Conan is an 18 rated MMO, not for the incredible violence, that's fine, the Puritans don't mind that, but for the lack of clothes. Indeed, Conan the Barbarian is rife with nudity. In fact, the game won Best Graphics 2010 from Game Banshee, and I'm 90% sure the big bouncing red Sonias everywhere probably helped them win that. So I'm going to have to censor this video quite a lot. First step in this riddle of steel is making an account. You need to download the game and then log in with a Funcom account because Funcom owns the game. Now, to be fair to Funcom, they're not an MMO graveyard. They've got the Dune MMO, Secret World Legends, which was okay, and Anarchy Online, which is still going. None of their games are dead, but they're not exactly alive either. Think of MMOs Funcom runs like The Last Standing Blockbuster or Pizza Hut or Toys R Us. They are still here, but no one is sure how or why. The challenge with making a Funcom account is the reply email service isn't instant. It seems to operate on 1-hour cycles, so it's quite possible that you can sign up, but you won't actually get your account made until the next cycle. And then the second small quirk of this game, when you launch it, you will always, without fail, get this pop-up. Assertion failed, symbols not found, and you must choose attempt to continue or quit. You must click attempt to continue. This has been a bug for years and they will not fix it. Now just consider the fact that signing up for an account can take up to an hour and then launching the game has a 100% error rating. that you just need to ignore. That is showing the levels of love Funcom are showing this game. I guess it makes sense that Age of Conan appears at the bottom of the list of games on their website. Age of Conan is effectively complete. It's unlikely it will ever get any other major content drops. It's basically on life support, but it's still strong enough to survive on its own for a bit. It's like an old person who keeps going bungee jumping. You know it's going to end in tears, but for now, they're having fun. First choice, server, Fury for PvP or Crom for PvE. Now, I was planning on trying both, but you can only have one free character in total across both of them. If you want to try another class or make another character on the other server, you must buy additional slots at $15 each or delete your free character and start again. Now, the game tells you that both servers have equal player bases, and I figure Conan is a world of brutal battles, so I, strangely, go PvP. I want to get the authentic Conan experience and prove Kai wrong. Now, MitchManix also went PvP, and everyone told him that was a stupid idea because apparently the PvP server is basically dead, despite the game telling you they both have the same population. So this may have been a bad choice. You choose your race, you choose your class, and I name him Bronan.
But we need a hero for this harsh journey, so must of course call upon the one and only Bronan, a Dark Templar in search of the most tubular of mystic powers.
Damn it, Mitch, half the jokes in this video relied on me having the name Bronan. Okay, fine, I'll be a Dark Templar, a spellsword tank called Josh Dryface, because as usual, my name is taken. Now, when you make a character, you can choose to make an unconquered character. You'll keep the unconquered status as long as you don't die, and if you can reach certain levels, 10, 20, 30, without dying, you'll get achievements. So here's my plan. I will play until I die, and then I will delete the character and try another class. Really up the stakes of this playthrough. So the character creation boat gets attacked, we sink, and then get blessed by some god and wash up on a beach, and then an old man walks over to us, and they were so proud of the kneeling down animation they made it happen twice. Look at the postage stamp bit of hair on that NPC. I should probably make a joke about that.
Bronan, his memory lost, is comforted, however, knowing that if he has any more issues with this NPC, at least he knows where the reset button is.
After this video, I'm going to have a word with MitchManix about making jokes that I intend to make and asking that he stop. So now the game begins. WASD movement, spaces jump, tutorial book lore dump on the left-hand side. First of all, go and kill our former slave master, because the main city of Tortage is ahead, and they don't let slaves in, so we need to kill our old slave master before they reveal to the city that we are indeed a slave. You've got a map, which is fine, a journal, which is fine, and along the beach we find a bound woman, Casilda. She's been tied up by local bandits, and she's blocking the path to the city, and there's literally no way we could possibly get past her, so we agree to free her. All NPCs are voiced, and voiced quite nicely, and you've got multiple choices in conversations, but there's no morality system, and every conversation path always ends with you going the same way anyway, so you can be mean if you want to, except I can't, because I don't like hurting NPCs' feelings. The key to her binds is held by a bandit on the beach, so behold, combat. Now, I do like the fact your starting weapon is a broken oar. It's a nice way to tie the opening cinematic of the ship to the gameplay. So, combat. It starts slow, but I actually quite like several elements of this combat system. You can attack to the left, overhead, or to the right, bounds to 1, 2, and 3 as standard, but why does this matter? Well, you also have 3 shields. Hold control to see them. As standard, you'll have 1 shield placed on each direction, reducing incoming damage from that direction by a slight amount. They're shown by these little parenthesis symbols. Now, while holding control, you can double tap an attack direction to switch all of your shields to that direction, or you can have them all general. Now, enemies also have directional shields, and if you attack one direction repeatedly, you'll see that the enemy switches their shield to that side, meaning they'll take less damage if you keep attacking that direction, so you can now attack the less defended side. So there's an element of paying attention and reacting to the less defended sides. But that's not all, because as you level up, you'll unlock skills, more powerful attacks, but after doing a skill, you can quickly follow up with a specific direction attack for the skill's full effect. You've got 2 reminders of which direction you'll need to follow up with. The first is a little icon pop-up, and the second is the skill icon itself having a little flourish to the left center, or right relating to the follow-up direction. Chaining skills into the correct follow-up direction not only does more damage, but also makes the flow of combat far smoother. And eventually you'll fall into a nice comfy rhythm of skill, follow, a nice rotation, but the follow-up of a skill gets reduced by the enemy's shields as well. So there's an element of baiting a shield switch to a certain direction, then using a skill and following that up with the direction that is now unguarded. So melee combat is pretty active, but here's my issue with the system. It's never worth the time to switch your own shields. Just leave them all at one per direction. And you'll notice how the first enemy encounter is on a golden beach with a bright blue ocean, two colors which perfectly hide the enemy shield indicators. Why would you set your first fight against a background color palette which obscures one of the most important combat mechanics in your game? Anyway, kill the dude, get the key. Thankfully there's a separate inventory for quest items so they don't clutter up your bags, free Casilda, and finally she can jiggle again. Every damn time I say jiggle, you look back at the screen. I've got the graphs to prove it. You can't lie to me. It's like an attention-grabbing cheat code. So we guide her through the jungle, making this an escort quest in both ways. Kill some pirates as we go, steal their clothes. Thankfully nobody attacks Casilda, and hey, this is neat. Inventory icons have little cursor over animations. They spin. That's quite nice. I level up and earn some skill points, but I'm not entirely sure where to spend them, and they won't matter until later anyway, because skills aren't feats, and feats are what matter. These big concrete squares on the floor are your resurrection places, but remember, I won't need those. I'm playing with one life, hardcore mode, like a 7-foot butcher. The stakes are high. Eventually we find Sador, our slave master. We have a bit of banter back and forth and then fight, and it's actually a remarkably close fight. So one thing I will praise Age of Conan for, it's surprisingly easy to die, even to normal mobs. It's not a safe world to be in. So we kill Sador, get a cool sword, get the gate key, and escape the jungle. Fight toward the main city of Tortage, and health regen out of combat is pretty damn fast. Health is pretty much a resource you manage while in a fight. Between fights, you've also got a rest ability that is a super fast recovery skill. Look, 2 apes take me to 50% health. This is good because I do not feel like a god. I feel capable, but not invincible. Reach the city, and do we get a cinematic? Maybe a pre-planned event? No, we get an item shop pop-up. So how bad is it? There's no avoiding this. The shop sells basically whatever you might need. Remember, this is a game they've all but given up with, so they've just started selling everything. You want a level boost? That's there. An experience potion? That's there as well. How about a buff potion for almost every skill in the game? How about buying PvP insurance so the next time you're killed by a player it doesn't interrupt your kill streak or whatever other system you were on? How about we throw in some loot boxes for good measure? How about just paying to boost your skills to maximum rank for better combos and spells, because that's all there. Pretty much anything you'd have to traditionally, play the game to get, it's all in the shop. It's undeniable that throwing money at Age of Conan will make your experience significantly easier and faster. But it gets a bit worse because you can't buy stuff directly. Of course not. You've got to buy the premium currency of Funcom points. Now, you'd assume the more points you buy, the cheaper they get. But no, it's actually the same price per point. And of course, the packs of points are slightly under or over the amount you'll actually need to buy whatever you want to buy. So you're encouraged to buy the next pack up or have leftover points. You know the drill by now. It's a dark pattern. You know why it's there. The Age of Conan in-game cash shop is just the natural endpoint of an MMO shop when the MMO is effectively done. Enough dark patterns to make money, enough enticing stuff to buy. A new player will likely be put off by this, but let's be honest, they're not expecting new players. This is for the current hardcore established players to level alts more quickly. I mean, look, I know that many people still play through the official launcher, but right now, Steam charts tell me Age of Conan has 86 players in a 24-hour peak. Now personally, I found the gameplay, combat, quest system, and general ambience to actually be remarkably good. Good enough to be fun while I played for honestly far longer than I normally play these games for because I was enjoying my time in Hyboria. It's not a badly made game, but the egregious nature of the cash shop would make me think twice about committing months or years of my life to it. But back in the game, my map shows me a level 10 dungeon, and I love early game dungeons, so this is absolutely something I'm going to push towards. Reach Tortage, but we can't go in because we're still wearing slave irons, so the local blacksmith offers to remove them if we bring him some bricks. It seems he is building a dam to stop the river of lava overflowing into the land. Now, I don't know if a small stone wall is going to stop a river of lava, which is mostly melted stones, but okay. Hey look, the quest icon above their head looks like a spinning bit of cheese.
At least that's the gist of what Bronan understood, due to being a little distracted trying to figure out where the guard obtained his levitating spinning cheese.
Mitch, you are really hobbling the comedy of this video, I hope you know that. Grab the bricks from across the way and a bat boss spawns and attacks us. Now this is a scripted event, the bat just really likes these bricks. I also learned that X is block, and then over 24 hours of gameplay later, I proceed to never block anything because blocking is pointless. You take reduced damage while blocking, but not no damage, and you can't attack while blocking, and the best defense is just going for crazy high offense, and enemies don't have long wind-up animations for big attacks that you need to block, so it's a nice idea, but in solo play it's mostly a waste of time. Hand the bricks to the blacksmith and he pats you on the head like the good little boy you are, and then the gate guard asks us to take a note to the bartender he has a crush on, so we get to the bar and I instantly understand the guard's thought process. And now, the cool nighttime zone. You see, Age of Conan is an MMO, but Tortage is basically one massive 15-hour tutorial, and you can switch between day and night mode. In the day, you can see other players, travel to dangerous PvP zones, and complete open-world quests. But at night, you'll follow the single-player story missions and not see any other players. To leave Tortage, you must finish the entire single-player nighttime storyline, or find the secret early leave ship, which we'll take later. Basically, you need to take down a local tyrant called Strom, and despite being a tutorial, Tortage is a big zone with some dungeons, bosses, PvP, and pretty decent side quests. It's a big area, which is impressive because the game world as a whole is huge. First story step, go and save Arius, a captain in the rebellion against Strom. Hang on, Arius? The guy from EverQuest. Oh, good for him. I guess he escaped the glooming deep mines after all, but he just couldn't help lead another rebellion. This means you got to take a boat to White Sands, which is our first adventure zone. Adventure zones are small maps accessed by interacting with something, in this case a boat, and they contain both PvE quests and are fully PvP, so I will need to run if I do see another rare player. So I charge in, cleaving, hacking away. I have no fear. I am a spell sword tank. I am goddamn invincible. Right, so I'm not as invincible as I thought. Dying means I've been conquered, and in the spirit of Conan, Tank Boy ends here. Delete the character, try again. How about a druid this time, a natural big boy? Meet Josh the Bear. Stop thinking impure thoughts. Starting with the same broken ore weapon, I swing my bare wood at the local bandits. Stop it. Fight through the jungle and violently spank the monkeys. Okay, that one was on me. That was far too obvious. I need to work things in slower. Stop it. The early game plays exactly the same, but hey look, you can just teleport, swim up waterfalls. It's here I discover one of the best additions in the game. Sprint. Shift is sprint. Finally, an MMO where running away is a viable strategy. If only I'd have known that before I died. 30 minutes back in town, find the skill menu. It's on the right hand side by the PvP tab. Right now you've just got run and climb. These matter later when you find certain ladders or vines that you can't climb unless you have put points into climbing. This time I stopped by the armor shop, filter by items I can use and buy some rawhide, so now I'm a bear clad in leather, and this cliche is not getting any better. Except some quests, and this character looks how he sounds. In pain.
I have many sorrows to drown, that's why. Driven out of my home above the city, and the Red Hand don't care what happens to the locals.
Grab a load of smaller side quests from this town, they're added to your journal and minimap, and then I learn the Fresh Kill bonus, a daily limit where the first few kills grant bonus experience, makes leveling alts a bit quicker. This guy is just hanging around, and I discover that while gathering quest items you make unusual noises. After a bit of grinding, I am fully armoured up, so I rush in to slap some pirates with this quest, and oh no, they are way too high. But it's okay, I have sprint, I can run away now, nothing can go wrong. R.I.P. Bear. Killed by your mortal enemy, gravity and puddles. Right, third time's the charm. A demonologist this time, the love child of Kratos and Hayahachi. The name Demon Strife is not loud, so, I don't know, Brian? Taken. Steve? Taken. Tim? Taken. Joshologist. Perfect. Important note, you cannot skip the intro cutscene. So a demonologist is a fire mage with a strange melee combat animation, and eventually you can summon a demon to help you. Now while you can unlock extra fire spells, almost none of them are better than your basic fireball, and because all classes start with the ore weapon, it takes about 45 minutes of speed playing for any class to feel different to any other. Reach the city, buy a robe, and yeah, now I'm angry fire Jesus. I do like how following your nighttime class quests has the same ultimate goal, but you talk to different NPCs based on what class you are to progress. I gain a protection spell and then a magical stick, and pretty soon I'm back in the PvP zone of White Sands, except this time I am keeping my distance and not dying. Get myself a lightning spell, watch these panthers ominously float over the fence, and finally save Arius. He mentions we need to speak to King Conan, who is in the game and is voiced by Troy Baker, because the gaming industry only know like 5 voice actors exist. Take a note from Arius, return to Tortage, and get told to meet Captain Redrick, and he's here, he's right in front of me. But this is nighttime Captain Redrick. He does not care for your note, you must return to day. Only then can you progress, for he will only speak to Dayman, the master of karate and friendship. Also, small bug, facial hair does not show during the character selection screen, but always returns in-game, so while you may log in as the son of God, you arrive the heavenly daddy. As a fire mage, our part in the resistance is pretty complicated. Infiltrate the mansion of the evil Mithrel, sorceress in league with Strom, become her apprentice and learn all the juicy gossip. So we fight into her house, kill all her guards, and admire whatever this red laser dot does. She is impressed with us killing everyone and sends us to collect some ingredients. I level up and get my next major ability, summon demonic helpers. So I do, and oh, I say, angry fire Jesus is about to sin. So this is a cool touch. You'll always summon the opposite gender to whatever you are, but you can manually switch. So succubus or incubus, your choice. I'll go with incubus because that's succubus be succubusin, and I don't fancy blurring every frame of the rest of this video. Grab the ingredients, meet the NPC Valeria, and kill some high-level enemies. She is on our side and will matter later if you're paying attention to the story. Mithrel casts the spell, we relay all we've learned, and then a small child gives me a letter for Arius, and hey, I'm level 10. Maybe I can do a dungeon. One character slot, though, is really punishing and makes changing specs or trying a new class hard for new players. It's either pay $15 or delete your character, and you have to put hours into a character before you understand what its playstyle is, before you even know if you like it. Also, who is the voice actor for Arius? Because Arius is not listed in the credits anywhere. Whoever they got to voice this character, they did not list it as Arius. They listed it as extra voice actor, but I recognized the voice.
Well met. Ah, so you spoke with us. I've learned a score of tongues in my work for the king, but this... 1,000 curses on Tachamon, that black-hearted bastard. The Mark of Acheron. This tells of how a ritual draws Acheronian souls from hell. Yes, and we must somehow find all of Aquilonia, flower of the west.
Is that Vesemir from The Witcher 3, William Roberts? You have Vesemir voicing the leader of the rebellion, and you don't even credit his character name. What the hell? Our journey now sends us to the next adventure zone, the volcano. Our task, scale the side, reach the middle, and take down a slave owner. I do like how the adventure zones, both White Sands and this volcano, don't just have one quest in them or one path through them. They have multiple, with different mini-bosses, different routes. Later, we'll scale the volcano fully, but not right now. So I fight through. Flame Jesus in his natural habitat, surrounded by lava, and I am still unconquered up to this point. I'm feeling pretty damn good, to be honest. I'm fighting, I'm climbing, and then I prepare to jump over this gap. This very small gap over a very small bit of lava. I should be able to make this because I've made further jumps than this earlier in the game. How hard can this be? Right, so turns out lava has an instant death aura around it, but you won't know that until you get a bit too close because there's no visual or audio clue that that's about to happen. So rip in peace, Flame Jesus. You died how you lived. On fire. Fine. Spell swords failed, bears failed, magic users failed. How about full tank? Meet Shield Boy. Ship. Drown. Ore. Slap. Boobs. Fatality cinematic kill. City in 20 minutes. Shop. Armor. Weapons. Local quests. Steam reviews. Literally can't play it. My username is in use, but I've got the wrong password. That's fine, I'll just create a new account. Perfect. My preferred email does not have an account associated with it. I'm all set. Wrong username, wrong password. Reset, get email, same issue. This was a fun game back in the day, truly seems abandoned. Just go look at their website. It's not even maintained. Sad. You had one job, Funcom. Well, downloaded it and used my other Funcom launcher to run the game. Well, it crashed 4 times, then didn't accept my login used to log into Funcom, so made new account for Age of Conan Unchained, was told by all 3 emails I own, not valid email, and like many other users, I gave up and uninstalled it. For a free game, this is so worth playing. I wish I was playing it a while back when it was released. It has tons of questing, gear, weapons, spells, and more. I just got off Tortage Island, and wow, did the game really open up. Holy crap, there is endless content here. This is a gem. I've been playing free so far and found out you can play free for a long time. To be honest, one of the best MMOs I've played. It has boobs, monsters, dungeons, and big-ass swords and boobs, lots of boobs, 10 out of 10. One of the best MMOs ever made, thrown to the wind by one of the worst gaming companies. This game says I've played it for 96 minutes. I haven't. I've been struggling for 96 minutes to log in. The first hour of every class is basically the same, but check this out. As a guardian, instead of joining Mithril, the evil sorceress, I'm sent to hunt her down. Same location, different narrative. I like that. I even bump into another player, Blue Shadow the Necromancer. They help me out, and then the gate guard gives me an actual dungeon quest. And the pleasure house is called the Bearded Clam. I see what you did there. Grind the main story, get tasked to recover some ale, seems the guards already drank it, go to the seer again. This is the 4th prophesized adventurer she has seen in a day. It is a busy day for prophecies right now. Find a spear, turns out they are really good. While I was planning on using sword and shield, the 2-handed weapons are just too good to pass up. Arius is also in a different place now. Meet Captain Fennec, kill some more people, and I have to say the general ambience of this city is really nice. It feels like a more grimy, gritty new world. I think it captures the pulp adventure quality of Conan quite well, as does Exiles. I wonder what the latest Conan game is.
Defeat Thoth's 4 henchmen of the apocalypse to face Saltoton, a vile pile of veins and sinew who wants to possess your heroic body. Disgusting. So, what are you waiting for? Chop chop. Conan chop chop.
Oh, it's a cartoony roguelite. Maybe let's forget that exists. I don't know if this is a roof jumping puzzle, but I'll just hop around trying to find something and then I make it back to the volcano. Flame Jesus' final resting place. I've learned my lesson. Do not go too close to the lava. Ever. I reach the middle, kill the slave master, and then get a quest in the Underhall dungeon. But you must visit it during the day, not at night. Why? Are they all asleep? Do the denizens of the underworld need their nappy naps? So I head to the armor shop, buy every piece of padded armor they have, and now I'm dressed up as an angry pillow. I charge into the dungeon and kill exactly 1 enemy before realizing I'm still massively underleveled and run away. By now you start to get the grindy quests. Kill 30 crocodiles, 40 panthers, that sort of thing. You know, I really wanted to go hammer and shield on this run, but the spear is just so good. And this matters because suddenly another player called Unknown Girl runs at me and starts attacking me. It's happening! PvP! Now I'm not prepared, but I fall back on my training and just cycle on my rotation, and amazingly, somehow, I survive. But now I'm scared because she'll come back on her main and kill me, because that's what everyone in every MMO says they're going to do. So I hide in the bushes. Do more local quests, steal some fish from some pirates, and after level 10 you can earn feat points, which you can put into one of 3 paths for your class. I go Juggernaut, more defense. And then my next quest, collect 45 venom glands from this tiny tunnel map. And for some reason, while fighting this snake, the most epic fight music so far just kicks in for this single fight. At the end of a tunnel, we find a boss snake, and I kill it, and then accidentally join a cult. I mean, we've all been there. Into another dungeon, and a level 18 wizard makes me nope out of there pretty fast. Small differences make a big difference in combat, and then I find a hidden message on a building saying you can actually leave Tortage without killing Strom by finding the hidden smuggler, but you must be at least level 16 to do this. Back to White Sands, and hey look, the bushes are just flat player-facing sprites. Nice trick to give the illusion of thick flora. Then into a mausoleum and come so close to death on every fight. I am white-knuckling my mouse. Attack this wall called No Name, and then spend 30 minutes killing crocodiles, and the next quest has me take a letter to King Conan himself. And try as I might, I just could not find a clip of Troy Baker doing any Conan dialogue anywhere. Oh, also, if you out-level your main solo quest, the nighttime storyline, you can choose to skip your destiny and go to the next quest in the sequence. Finally find a crossbow, and this helps greatly with managing enemy aggro ranges because I can now pull a single enemy at a time and not the whole mob at once. Fight waves of enemies inside this warehouse and then experience the legendary lag, during a boss fight no less. Thankfully, when you lag, it seems enemies stop attacking you too. They kind of follow the honor policy on fighting. Get an even better spear, and then the magical seer lady has a vision of Strom taking the magical MacGuffin of Atlantis, and this is bad, so now we need to go and disrupt the ritual. To do this, we need the blood of a not virgin, so we ask Casilda, the girl we rescued from the jungle earlier, and she thinks this is weird but agrees to help. With this in hand, I return to the volcano map, the lava rivers, and I carefully traverse through. You know what, maybe I can just run past everyone, and yeah, you actually can. I make it, but hang on. Cutscenes take place in the current world, and enemies you've aggroed keep attacking you in the cutscene, so I die in the cutscene. What the hell, game? Fine, we'll give this one last try. Shield Boy joins Flame Jesus on the Mountain of Death, and we once again return to the character creation ship. MitchManix may have taken the name Bronan, but you know what he doesn't have? My Bronads. Two-handed weapon specialization, Conqueror melee DPS. Let's swing these Bronads around and see how far we can get. And then, as I run through the jungle, redoing the opening for the 5th time, I hear it in my mind. The distant whisper of support, of encouragement. Who is that? Who's talking to me? And then I realize it's coming from the last person I'd expect to support me.
It is I, Bronan, your spirit bro.
The hatred melts from my heart, replaced with camaraderie. Maybe I was too harsh on MitchManix. Maybe Bronan is here for me, for you, for all of us. And as Bronads grinds away, I hear more words of encouragement.
Remember, you've got to believe in yourself.
I grind more. Through the temple, through the snake pits, I find a new club. I kill 45 snakes. Again, I make it back to White Sands. I avoid death at the hands of PvP, and just as I am about to fall to my knees in exhaustion, more words of support from my spirit guide.
I will always be here, your guide to the brotherhood.
It takes me hours, but I finally drag my Bronads back to the volcano. I carefully avoid the lava, fight my way up. I follow Bronan's advice and kill the mini-boss again. I make it to the Undercity and kill 50 Red Hand soldiers, but the grind is beginning to get too much. I can't keep going, but every time I feel weak, he picks me back up by the Bronads and throws me back into the fight.
Remember, when your spirit feels broken, you can, bro.
I tactically out-level the volcano solo story quest so I can use the skip your destiny option to avoid the lava. Again, more quests, get captured, fight my way out of an extremely dark prison, a 45-minute labyrinth of combat, and every time I veer dangerously close to quitting, he brominds me.
I'll always be your bro.
With the constant reassurance of Bronan, I drag my Bronads out the prison, through the jungle. I fight back every mob, every wave. I reach level 16, and I find the secret hidden note around the back of the Brot House. Forget Strom. Forget the Brobellion. I want my freedom. My destiny leads me off this god-forsaken island, and I take the smuggler's boat to the mainland, to Konark Village. And then a local guide takes me to Tarantia City, the glorious main city, and it is stunning. Tall towers, imposing walls, clean, vast, safe. I check every shop. There's nothing I can wear yet, but there's quests aplenty, loads of teleports, choice, and then, at the top of the grand steps, I finally come face to face with the one, the only, Bronan himself. His sweet smile, the battle-forged glint in his eyes. He is the reason I made it off Tortage, and I am still unconquered, undefeated. With this, Bronan guides me into the wild, and Bronads dutifully follows. What knowledge will he teach me? What wisdom will he share next? And then, away from the city, away from the hustle and bustle, away from the guards, Bronan imparts more of his wisdom.
Trust no one, not even Bronan.
Bronan, no, bro, no. Why are you doing this, Bronan? I trusted you. This is not how the bromance was meant to bro.
Haha, get wrecked, scrub. Back to the character creation ship for you. Enjoy playing through Tortage for the 5th time.
God damn it, Mitch. Age of Conan is a decent MMO with long-term technical problems and an egregious cash shop slapped onto a relatively fun experience. It's got decent combat, decent voice acting, and is a fun recreation of the Conan mythos. Its adult elements aren't too gratuitous, but they do keep the world feeling brutal. Unfortunately, it's far too easy to die due to lag, mob swarming, or random lava insta-death. It's a solid experience, but I can't see it surviving in the long term, so to end the review, I will award Age of Conan Pain in the Bronads out of 10. Cheers for watching. A big thank you to Dumbwaster Kai and MitchManix for lending their voices and combat skills to the episode. If you enjoy the video, you can support via the Patreon. Check the video description for links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, and our Discord. And as always, have a great day.